On Monday, July 15th, 2024, I came to a decision. I've decided to quit the new Rift mode in MultiVersus. Now hold up, let me preface this by saying I didn't do the Rift mode to unlock Agent Smith. However they want to carry out unlocking characters, by all means, let them do their thing. But I made a podcast and I dropped it on Tuesday, check it out if you missed it. I made a podcast kind of talking about this. But on Monday when the new Rift mode dropped, I actually came to the conclusion that I just don't like playing Rift. As I said before, I didn't play the Rift mode to unlock Agent Smith. Agent Smith was just kind of an afterthought. I just liked playing the Rift mode initially just because I liked playing the Rift mode. The difficulty isn't a problem, the gems that they take aren't a problem, the missions aren't a problem, the variations are really good. So you might be wondering, why did you quit playing the Rift mode if like everything's all good? Because my beautiful viewers, everything is not all good, at least with me. One of the main things that drew me to the Rift mode was the fact that it was like a little story. It was like story mode for MultiVersus. When it comes to lore of games, I'm a big fan. I'm going through every bookshelf, I'm going through every drawer, I'm doing every side quest. Yes, the world's gonna explode in a day or two, but I mean, Mary lost her little lamb, so I gotta take care of that. Like, I'm lore-based heavy. So one of the big letdowns is after chapter 3, they stopped introducing that. From chapter 3 on, I still decided to play 4, 5, 6. You know, I'm playing, I'm still kind of having a good time seeing these crazy variations, it's nice. But eventually I started to think, why am I playing this mode? And as I read your comments over and over, I realized a lot of you played this mode for Agent Smith. I didn't care about Agent Smith. Why am I playing this? The lore is not there anymore. There's not really any cutscenes. It's really just me kind of playing through stage for no reason. So I thought about it and I was like, I'm amped for this every Monday, yet I'm never really met with anything new. It's the same over and over, it's just telling me to do it over and over again. After I completed the battle pass, it was pretty apparent that logging in every day was pretty much the same thing over and over and over again. Now, of course, when ranked mode drops in season 2, different story, but in terms of what we have right now, it's pretty much you do the same thing every single day. There's no variation. Yes, there's events, but the events are asking for the same exact thing too. Pretty much since launch, we've been doing the same thing every single day. Now you could say I was in honeymoon phase, so I didn't really feel like it. But as I played more and more and had less reasons to play, I started to realize there's kind of nothing to do here. That's when I decided to quit playing the Rift mode altogether. Once I realized what I initially found interesting about the Rift mode was gone, and I'm basically turned into a mindless robot logging in every day to do missions or logging in every week to do the Rift mode to complete difficult. Like, there was nothing there for me. Again, if you're doing it for Agent Smith, I understand, but for me personally, I didn't care about Agent Smith. I didn't care about difficulties. I was just in it for the experience, but there's no more experience. It's just do this to get that. That's pretty much all it boils down to now. Now I will say there's still a little bit of story in these Rift modes. However, like I said, in my opinion, a lot of it has just became very streamlined. Let's make a chapter and let's have a theme for the chapter. And the characters are gonna talk about that theme and then we'll move on to the next chapter. Whereas chapter 1 through 3, at least to me, it felt like, okay, we're starting here. Okay, we gotta beat this, we gotta go through here. Okay, now we're moving on to the next area. It felt more like a story. It felt more of something unraveling. It didn't feel like I had to log in to do something, to complete something, to get a character. It felt more of like, oh crap, this is a story mode, bro, I'm down. And as I said before, once that kind of left, it felt a little bit of soulless. It felt hollow. Like the passion for the Rift mode kind of disappeared after 3. The Rift mode then just started to feel like an empty husk. Like, we're logging in every day, we're logging in every week, like a programmed robot to do this, I'm done, let me wait now, this, I'm done, let me wait now. And literally that since release. And that is just something I can never get behind. If you've been watching me before, my previous games and stuff like that, you guys know exactly what I'm talking about and how I feel towards things like this. However, I do know some of my viewers, you guys do like this type of stuff, and you guys do like having that, I need to do this, to do this, to do this. I feel you. But I'm always gonna say what's on my mind and I'm always gonna be real. The Rift mode right now just isn't fun enough to have someone play, and the only reason why majority of people are playing is to get Agent Smith. I guess you can also say unlock fighter currency if you're into that, but for the most part, it's Agent Smith. Which goes to show the mode is not actually fun, it's forced upon. And again, if you've been watching me, you guys know I don't like being forced to do anything. Once I figure out a game is forcing my hand to do something, all fun is gone. I love games that let you play them how you want to play them. Smash Brothers does this really well, especially on their new adventure mode in Ultimate. I never felt like I had to do this. It literally felt like a story unraveling. There was a lot there to unpack and there was a lot to do. Games like Tekken, Street Fighter, again, their PvE modes, to me at least, have never felt like, oh my gosh, this is just, I gotta do this. It's literally teaching me how to play the game. I'm getting better every single run. It's a personal improvement as well as lore. Now, I'm not saying MultiVersus should become those because it can't, right? MultiVersus can't copy the greats. But what it can do is kind of follow examples on why players that play those games felt like it's fun. MultiVersus on Steam did not go from over 100K down to 7K in the span of a day or two just because hype died down. There was definitely a reason. There was no ranked mode, PvP felt a little bit weird, the Rift mode was not engaging, and so as it goes forward from that launch day, it kind of still felt like that, but it got worse and worse and worse. Now, I'm not making this video to be a Debbie Downer. Of course, you PvE players, you Rift mode players, you guys love your Rift mode and I feel you. But the reason why you would play Rift mode versus the reason why I would is I would play for the enjoyment. You're more or less playing for Agent Smith or, as I said, fighter currency. Now, I will say there's probably a few of you that are playing for enjoyment. Maybe you just hate PvP so bad and this is the only thing you can do and that this is the best you got. I feel you there. But again, I think that's a small percentage. That's not majority of players that are playing the Rift mode. Just because you tell me that I'm gonna unlock a character does not mean I'm gonna do something I just don't enjoy. That's not how popping off them pops. I'm never gonna use that again, but it was kind of nice. No, maybe it wasn't, but that's not how I roll. I'm gonna do what I wanna do because it's fun. I'm not gonna do something because you're forcing me to do it. As I said before, the character was not the reason why I played the mode in the first place. I planned to just buy him later anyway. I was just enjoying the mode for the story and just for the variations in the gameplay loop. But the story started to not be a story anymore. The lore started to not be lore. The loop started to not be a good gameplay loop anymore. And it just felt overall very dry. Now, I'm not a designer or a developer or anything like that, so I really can't say, oh, I wish they would do this, because I already know that this type of stuff is difficult to do, and I already know that there's a lot of different voices saying a lot of different things and it's hard to get things right. However, I think how it is right now, it's not there. Really, that mode is there for two types of players. The first player is just someone who just hates PvP so much they only want to play PvE, which means they don't have an option. I feel you. The second group is the ones that want Agent Smith and you guys really are having to grit your teeth to get him. I feel you. I'm not part of either of those groups, but I feel where both of you guys are coming from. But of course, fun is always subjective. What you feel like is fun is totally different from what I feel like is fun. But as it stands right now, I don't really intend to play Rift mode anymore. And you guys know, this channel has never really been about Rift mode. I don't think I've ever made a video on it. Even though I enjoyed it from the start, there was just no reason. I prefer making guides for you guys to make things easier. But in terms of like Rift specifics, I felt like there was no reason. Maybe I'll do a guide here or there, but it was really nothing to cover Rift mode in general. But I make this video to say, hopefully when season 2 drops, I hope they have some revamped version of the Rift mode because it is a great idea. It's still in its infancy form. And if we can really get away from like forcing players to do things, and if we can go back to the roots of the first 3 chapters where it was like heart and soul clearly was put into those 3 chapters, I think it's gonna thrive like crazy. And that's really what I'm looking forward to. But of course, you guys know me. Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. How do you guys feel? Do you feel like Rift mode is the reason why MultiVersus is saved? Or are you like, I get you, Rift mode is kind of dry and I'm really only doing it for Agent Smith. I have to bring a friend along so it can be fun. That's how dry it kind of is. Which side are you on? I really want to know. Also, don't forget to check out that podcast that I dropped on Tuesday. Link will be in the description below. I probably recommended someone over there, and it's also going to be on the end screen. Until next time, you know what I always say. Think you guys are doing what? Popping often. Will often.